Hi everyone, welcome back to Chelsea Fan TV. My name is Nina and today I am bringing to you another transfer news video because there is a lot to get into. But before we talk transfers, let's welcome Pochettino. He has touched down to Cobham. He is set to get straight down to business, guys, and I'm laughing and I can't keep a straight face because it just feels like Groundhog Day, welcoming a new manager and accepting that things will change. That's what we hope for, change in the right direction, no more declines. And I mean, we can only go up from last season, surely. Manifest it into the universe, guys, that Pochettino will transform and save Chelsea. This is my manifestation here. And of course, he is set to get straight into it. We have done him a favour by speeding up the clear out, which has been long overdue. There are still more players to walk out the door, players to come through the door. But before we go into pre-season, before we fly off and board the plane to America, we need to still address some issues, get rid of some deadwood. And of course, that is what we are looking to do, because there's nothing wrong with things still, kind of exits and entrances happening through pre-season, but it just means that things are a little bit easier for Poch. He can see what he's working with. He can start working things out and slowly implement his system so that come, the start of the Prem, 13th of August, we find ourselves in a much better place. And of course, it's easy to kickstart things. So of course, we saw the Mason Mount saga end. That was a deal that dragged on far too long and we will not be talking about it again. But my point I am making here is that I don't want any other negotiations with clubs just dragging on like they have, like the Caicedo deal is with Brighton at the moment, which we will talk about in this video, touching a little bit upon Christian Pulisic, who thinks that he can be picky and choosy with what club he goes to. Christian Pulisic, unfortunately, we don't exactly have high demand, for you. So please do not be saying that you don't want to go to a club which are offering us enough money to let you go. So plenty to get into, and of course stay tuned because I do have a little bit of news from a source that Alex has given me that Crystal Palace player Michael Olise might potentially be joining Chelsea, or we are interested in signing him. However, there is a big if here and there is a big worry surrounding this potential transfer, and that is that we saw him fall injured in his obviously under 21 Euro competition right now, plays for France, also scored a goal for them not long ago. But he has gotten a hamstring injury right now, which might see him out for three months, I believe. 3 months out of football as a young player of the age of 21 who has shone quite bright and has been an integral player for Crystal Palace this season as well. To see him get injured and potentially maybe need surgery as well could be a big negative impact on his career. It also means that his transfers this summer, because he has impressed many clubs, outside of England as well. PSG, I believe, have been interested in him as well, but it may mean that kind of puts his transfer opportunity on hold. And the last thing we need at Chelsea is bringing in a player who is injured or his future is uncertain, especially when he is at such a young age. We've had enough players be injured, coming back and forth from injury. We've got enough injury-prone players in the squad, so that could be a concern. But I will get into him shortly. Well, I've said I'll get into him, but here I am waffling. Stop waffling, Nina. Okie dokie. So Christian Pulisic, we have had offers or bids been made from Milan. AC Milan have come in with a funny £12.8 million for Christian Pulisic. And then in France, we have a club of Lyon coming through with a €25 million bid, which is basically double Milan's. And we know that Italian clubs are very stingy with their bids. We know they don't like to pay at all for players, and what they are offering us, considering what we paid for Pulisic in the first place, he's been with us since 2019, and it's safe to say that he has disappointed. It's been very hard to see Christian Pulisic in a consistent run of form where he's not out and injured, where he's not, stopping and starting and leaving and coming back constantly, not being able to work out how he fits best into the squad, costing us opportunities, in the Carabao Cup final and the FA Cup final. Potentially could have never gotten to penalty shootouts against Liverpool twice if Pulisic had been a lot more clinical. But then, yes, call me whatever, living in the past. But for me, Christian Pulisic has really not impressed, and it's time for us to move on. He wants to move on. Yes, he's been a fantastic player for USA, but it's like every time he goes off to international duty, he performs, he scores, he creates, he's their best player. And then we're like, great, maybe we're going to see that at Chelsea. And then he comes back, and it's just like, well, have you got a twin? Where did Christian Pulisic go? Because he just doesn't perform at the same level. Similarly to Ziyech. So here we have these players performing for their clubs, absolutely crazy football being played, and then they come to Chelsea and clearly they are unhappy. So Pulisic needs to be sold. He is among the players that need to leave, and we're obviously looking to address that. So he is favouring a move to Milan. But of course, for us financially and also relationship wise, it is so much easier to just do business with Lyon, purely because we recruited Malo Gusto in January. That was smooth. We had no issues with the club there, and now they're putting 25 million euros on the table, and we'd be silly not to accept, in my opinion, because of course, well, I don't really see what club comes in with a higher offer, frankly. And like I said, I don't really want negotiations dragging on anymore. There's far too many players that we need to offload, and we can't afford to be in talks back and forth with clubs for such a long time, because it just causes uncertainty, it causes chaos, and that is something that we are trying to avoid come next season. So for me, it would be great if we could do business with Lyon, but no, because Christian Pulisic has decided to say he doesn't want to go there, and now we may be looking to push for another bid from AC Milan, which is going to be a nightmare in my opinion. So here we have two players, Christian Pulisic and Ziyech, who we've wanted to get rid of for a long time, but it seems that won't be that easy, guys. So we will just wait and see what is happening with Christian Pulisic. That is expected to move hopefully in the next few days. See, we're going to be going back and forth clearly, but the player has expressed that he will not go, so we will just wait and see what happens with that. But anyways, talking about the incomings, guys, another player, speaking of long and dragging and just get it over and done with, it's Moises Caicedo, Brighton's absolutely great midfielder, which has impressed many. Last season, we have put him on our wish list back in January. So we have been, targeting him for a long time. We are now seem to be a one-man race or a one-club race in this prospect because, of course, Arsenal seems to be quiet. Man United were never really in for him for real. And of course, Chelsea has been pursuing it most seriously, I'd say. And of course, Brighton, they are in a place to be, of course, picky and to be, demanding of what they get from Moises Caicedo, because they can, he is such a young player that has been so vital and crucial to Brighton's success in the Prem. And of course, they are going to, and especially doing business with Chelsea, they know that they can have that kind of one upper hand on us. So it seems that we will see some movement, guys, hopefully in the next week. I trust and I don't doubt that that will be happening in the next couple days, wait, maybe a week. We'll give it a week to truly see that happening. But honestly, guys, at this rate, if Moises Caicedo falls through, I'm going to be asking some serious questions, because what on earth have we been doing for the last couple months? Like, seriously. And of course, it's just such an important pursuit. I keep banging on about this, but Moises Caicedo, in my opinion, will thrive at Chelsea, and he's going to be brilliant alongside Enzo Fernandez as well. He's going to be someone that lets Enzo as well kind of maximize his strengths as well, because of course, like I said, Enzo was arguably one of our best players last season, literally half the season he was there, and he still didn't even perform to his fuller. So imagine with Caicedo, letting him push up a lot more, being a lot more involved in the creative build-up of our attack. I just think that's going to be so special. He's young, and as we know, we are building around youngsters in our squad. So hopefully some movement there with Moises Caicedo. We can afford to now absolutely put all our eggs in that basket and just pursue it for real. We've made the money for it, and we can just get straight into that. So of course, I touched a little bit upon Olise from Crystal Palace. Like I said, a very young, refreshing player that has caught the eye of many. Looks like someone with a lot of potential, and unfortunately, he has now fallen with an injury. So, of course, if Chelsea is serious in their interest, they have to take into consideration that we are kind of gambling here. We really are, because, yes, there is potential there, but we know easily, and we have seen with players time and time again, that when you're that young and you fall with an injury, of course, mental health comes in instantly. You've got the physical recovery of things, and especially if you're going to a new club amid that, there are so many things that could go wrong here. So it's a dangerous one, but equally it's an intriguing one. I am eager to know your thoughts on that, guys, in the comments down below. So do let me know. I have waffled enough. Thank you for watching, guys. We will be back with more news, but hopefully Pulisic is out the door soon, Moises Caicedo rocking through, and we will see a lot more incomings in future weeks. Pochettino is in, guys. We just can be excited now. We can chill out because we have taken our time with appointing the right manager, again, hopefully, and we can stop paying the prices of the stupid mistakes that we have made with appointing managers in previous season. But yes, that's all from me, guys. Like the video, subscribe to Chelsea Fan TV. Also check out my personal channel, Nina's Chelsea Corner. Give it a like, give me a watch, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a lovely week.